company posted weak numbers this quarter. Shekhar Ramamurthy, the MD of United Breweries, joins us now to talk about that. Shekhar, hi, good morning. Of course, it has been a weak quarter for the entire industry. But before I ask you about that, I also wanted to check with you on what the situation is as far as Heineken is concerned, because the talk now is that Heineken is looking to take over complete management control of United Breweries, and the company has gone ahead, United Breweries that is, has gone ahead and called for an EGM to evict the chairman, Vijay Mallya. How much truth is there to this?
Good morning. There is no truth to that. The facts of the case are as follows, that you would know that SEBI has passed an order which has asked for Dr. Mallya to not be on the board of any listed company or be a key management person on any listed company. So the company has taken legal opinion about that order, and our board has considered the legal opinion, and the board has requested Dr. Mallya to not be on the board till he gets a stay or this order gets vacated. Now, as far as what Heineken does, you'll have to ask Heineken. And no, we have not called for an EGM. So we'll have to wait and see. Dr. Mallya has his legal rights to appeal the order. But as far as the board of UBL is concerned, based on the SEBI order and based on the legal opinions that we have received, we have requested Dr. Mallya to be not on the board till this order is stayed or vacated.
Okay. Thanks for that clarification, Shekhar. But if that indeed were the case, that Mr. Mallya is not on the board because of the SEBI order for now, does that give Heineken more voice in the board and therefore effectively the one that calls the tune?
No, nothing changes right now. You know, there's a shareholder agreement between Mr. Mallya and Heineken that stays. There's no change in the board composition. I cannot speculate about the future. So we'll have to wait and watch how this proceeds. But as I've said to you, the facts of the case are as I have just explained a little earlier.
Okay. So can you give us a date for when is the next EGM, if that is happening?
No, we haven't called for an extraordinary general body meeting. The AGM in the normal course will happen sometime in September or October.
Okay. All right. Coming to the numbers now, you know, we've seen quite a bit of a disappointment over there in this quarter. Your margins have shrunk quite a bit. Is this something that we should expect for the next couple of quarters as well, or do you see things improving?
You see, the couple of things have happened. As we've spoken a little earlier, things were improving, the market was picking up. However, demonetization has had an impact on our business too. Simply speaking, there was no cash in the system. Consumers didn't have money to go and buy. And that took a little time to ease out, as it did for every other business in this country. So by beginning of January, we started seeing that the effect of demonetization has gone away. But because of that, the quarter 3, which is the October-December quarter, saw a 8% decline in the industry volumes. So whilst our shares are still very strong, you know, we're still growing ahead of the market, but, you know, decline is a decline. Now, to compound this demonetization impact, which has now eased, is the Supreme Court order, which has come out saying that all shops and bars within the 500-meter distance of all state and national highways have to close with effect from 1st April. Now, you know, in a country like ours, every road in every city is a state highway. So you'll have a situation where the Western Express Highway in Mumbai is a highway. So all hotels, all shops within 500 meters will not be able to sell or serve any alcohol. So now there is a review petition in the Supreme Court, which has been moved by state wine and retail associations of some states, as well as some state governments.
Will that affect
this review
companies?
Petition is to be heard in about 10 days' time.
Sure. Will it affect organized players like yourselves? Because the feedback that we got is that the liquor that's really sold on highways is generally coming from, you know, the unorganized players, and it won't impact the direct distribution channels that you guys sell into.
No, it does impact. You see, the total number of licensed outlets in this country is about 80 to 90,000. That's it, across India, which can sell or serve alcohol of any kind. Now, we have done a count, and if you were to strictly go by the letter of the law, about 40 to 50% of all outlets will have to shut or shift. Now, that impacts everybody. Like I mentioned to you, that you will find half the roads in Mumbai, in Delhi, in Bangalore are actually highways. And if you go by the way the states have designated them, many of the roads in most of our cities are highways. So now if that is so, and we are a crowded country, there isn't much space. So whilst in the outskirts, people may have the chance to shift to a 500-meter distance, then in most cities which are very congested, very crowded, outlets will have a challenge to shift.
Okay.
So what's happening in the short term in Q4 are these outlets are not buying.
Okay. Okay, so if the review doesn't happen...
Because they don't know whether they will be there or not.
Yeah, if in 10 days when the review is heard, you don't get a stay, there is a longish trouble, is it? More than 1 quarter?
I would think so, because you see, Q1 for beer industry is the peak season. Now, if in peak season 40% of the outlets have to shut or shift, clearly it will have an impact. Yeah, in the medium to long term, things will adjust. People will shift. Existing outlets who have stayed on will obviously sell more. Throughput will increase through them. But in the next 3 to 6 months, there will be a severe impact. So what's happened to our industry is that first we had demonetisation. Now we've had this outlet ban. So it's been a very challenging 6 months for the industry.
Okay, well, we hope things get better. We have a lot